Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it is time for our next YouTube mini class. We are on YouTube number 123, and yes, this is the YouTube where I make a really big announcement for Scrapbooking Made Simple. We have two announcements for you. The first one is today. The next big announcement will be July 11th, so you're going to want to stay tuned for July 11th because I've got great things to share with you today, but I've got great things to share with you as in July as well. So this is an actual mini class, and along with the announcement, I'm going to be showing you stuff. And I hope you enjoy it. But before we get there, I need to talk about YouTube number 122 because we have Winner Chicken Dinner. Woohoo! We've got two of you who have one product from YouTube number 122, and maybe you would like to have a chance at winning some of the products we show on our YouTubes. It's really easy. Go to YouTube, you're watching YouTube, become a subscriber to YouTube, get a login so you can have an account on YouTube, and then go to Scrapbooking Made Simple and subscribe to our channel. Once you do that, you can post your comment, and after we review and approve your comment, so just keep it kind, then you go in the running for the next YouTube, and you could be a winner chicken dinner like the two people I have right here. Now in 122, we talked about embossing diffusers, we talked about interchangeable embossing folders, we talked about shimmer sheets and stays on, and if you don't know what embossing folder diffusers are and you use embossing folders, go back to 122. I think you're really going to enjoy it. If you have no idea what embossing folder is, go back to 122. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. There's a couple aha moments in there that are just awesome. So I've got two winners, and they are gonna get a nice little assortment of the product we used in 122. And if you post your comment on this YouTube, you're going to get an assortment of what I have to show you today. Now, our first winner is Sherry Presseau, P-R-E-S-S-E-A-U. Sherry Presseau. Congratulations, Sherry! You are a winner chicken dinner from Scrapbooking Made Simple. Our next winner is a name that I know. I've seen this name for quite some time. Congratulations to Suzette Orchard. Way to go, Suzette. Woohoo, ka-choo for you too. You guys have won a nice little assortment of the goodies from 122, and how are you gonna claim your prizes? That's easy peasy as well. You are going to email us at winner, W-I-N-N-E-R, at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. You're gonna say, I'm a YouTube winner from 122. You're gonna give us your name, your address, your telephone number, and Sarah's gonna ship you your prizes just as soon as possible. So congratulations to both Sherry and Suzette. And I want you to be a winner, so after you're finished watching this YouTube mini class number 123, I hope you go and post a comment, and your comment can really be anything. You can tell me you made an amazing card, you can tell me that you had a great day at work, you can say hi to one of the SMS girls for you. It's whatever you'd like to post as long as it's kind. That's all we ask. Okay? Because I do read them and I do approve them before you will see them. So that's it. I think we're gonna get started for today. But before I go forward, I kind of have to go backwards. So you're gonna have to look at me for just a few more minutes while I kind of explain. Yes, we have a really big announcement today, and yes, I'm really excited about it. But this announcement probably started back when I was a child. I mean, it really does. It involves my upbringing, and it involves my belief system, and so I think it's good. I hope you think it's good. But when I decided to open Scrapbooking Made Simple in the actual retail store, because we started online first, two wonderful friends, Sherry and Diana, helped me when I didn't know what I needed to have an actual retail store for scrapbooking, because we were online and I didn't sell every kind of product. And those two girls were such big helps and inspirations to me that I just had to give them a shout out, because really, without them, the retail store probably wouldn't be. They were encouraging and said, you can do this. So the retail store opened, And I kind of just did what every other retail store does, only I did it the Stacy way. Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, it is what it is, but it's the Stacy way. And there are some pretty big defining moments in my store's history for me personally, on a personal level. We do a crop every month, a 3-day crop, and I used to charge for the crop. It used to be $10 a seat to come to our crop per day, and I know $10 isn't a lot of money, but for some people, it's the difference between having milk for their kids or coming to a crop. And of course, what's going to take priority? Their family is going to take priority. So during one of these it was actually during one of the free crops. I had offered the crop for free for 1 month. It must have been an anniversary sale or something going on, but I said, let's do this crop for free. And I have ears that just hear everything, which customers really don't like because nobody can talk about me because I can hear them. But I was sitting at my desk, which is kind of away from the crop area, and I heard a daughter tell her mom, and the daughter was in her late 20s, early 30s, and the mom, of course, a little bit older. I heard her tell her mom, I'm so thankful this crop is free because we never could have come and spent this time together. And it was just a moment. It truly was a moment for me. My breath kind of stopped, and I thought, oh my gosh. Well, this gives that mother and daughter time together that they might not have had, crafting and celebrating their creativity. And from that point forward, I said, as long as we can afford to do the crops for free, we will do them for free. And that's been several years now that we've been doing the free crops, because I didn't fully understand the impact of what creativity and what crafting brings to people. I thought I knew, but not until I heard how thankful she was and how happy she was to be spending time with her mom. And most of us just take that for granted, but she didn't. And that really hit me. That hit me personally, like, okay, I need to rethink things. And then another huge defining moment for us was when we became the shop that didn't hop. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be part of the shop hop, but there were things that changed in the rules that I just in my heart couldn't agree to, with the free gifts and things like that. And that was a huge defining moment for Scrapbooking Made Simple, because we stood up and I said, no, I'm going to do what I believe in, and I'm going to hold to what I was taught. And whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision, I'm going to do it anyway, because this is who I am. And so we became the shop that didn't hop because we wanted to continue valuing our customers, not for how much money they have, but for who they are. And so that whole year was a huge year for me, a huge growing year. And when I look back, I think of how I have learned so much. So when it came time to start thinking about what I have to tell you about, it's not bad. Really, it's not. But I try to hear what you say. I try to take in what you say, and in your posts and in your comments and when you're in my store. And we've gotten much bigger than we used to be. There used to be 3 of us. There used to be 3 who worked here, and now we're up to 21. And so we're doing our part supporting the hiring. But we've changed dramatically. And I wanted to be sure that I didn't change with that. And that's hard to do sometimes when you're growing, and it's hard to stay true to who you are. But I listen to you, and you keep me grounded. You keep me being just who I am, Stacy from Canyon Country, California, who was born here, whose mom was a key punch operator and dad was an insurance salesman and a football coach. You keep me grounded. So I listened to what you said, and I do get approached a lot to do product because of how much we've grown. Not necessarily because they think I'm uber talented. It's because of how much we've grown. Manufacturers do take notice that we have a lot of fans. Thank you very much. But it had to be on my terms. And that's hard. You know, a manufacturer doesn't necessarily, they want you to sell product. They don't necessarily want to hear what you have to say about the product. They just want you to go out there and sell it. So when I really sat down and decided, okay, maybe it's time that we put some product together for Scrapbooking Made Simple, I went to the very best manufacturers that I know. I went with people who I trusted, who trusted me, who for some reason believes in my crazy, wild dreams, and I talked to them and I said, this is what I want to do, and this is why I want to do it, and this is what I'm going to need from you. And 4 manufacturers stepped up. Now today I only have 2 for you, but 4 manufacturers stepped up and said, we can do that. We see your vision. We understand who you are. We don't want to change you. We want you to reach the people that you need to reach. And I think what I have for you today will do that. Yes, it is new product. Yes, it is from Scrapbooking Made Simple. No, you can't find it anywhere else. And I think that when I went to them and I said, there's a price point missing out there. There's a price point. Not everybody can afford that $10 crop, and not everybody can afford a $24.99 die. Not everybody can afford a $10 pack of paper. We need to reach as many people as we can in this industry, because this industry is shrinking and we can't let it shrink. We need new crafters. We need people to celebrate their creativity. And the way to do that is to make it accessible and affordable for everybody, which is what the free crops did, which is what the Shop That Doesn't Hop did. That's what I took away. Those were my takeaway moments from that. So, without further ado, I am going to tilt down and I'm going to show you the very first products from Simply Defined by Scrapbooking Made Simple. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up. Okay, down we go. All right, well, many of you had kind of guessed it. You guys are very smart. I tried to be very clever in my sneak peeks on Facebook, but yes, I do have a new die and stamp line out called Simply Defined. And yes, this is the first release. It's a very small release because we just wanted to get it started and get going. But we have 3 new die and stamp sets and 1 background. Now, you may notice what's on the label. It says Sizzix compatible. The reason it says Sizzix compatible is because this is a Sizzix manufactured product. Ellison is behind the manufacturing of this product, the stamps, the dies. We went to them and I said, this is what I need to do. I need to put this together, and it needs to be cohesive, and it needs to be straightforward, and I need to share what it is I think is wonderful in this business, but I need to do it at a price where everybody can afford it. There's our background. I need to do it at a price where everybody can afford it. So we sat down with all of those people at Ellison, and I can't say thank you enough to everybody there, from David and Sarah and Kim and Jen and Rachel. I mean, there is a whole team supporting me, going rah, 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 but they did it on my terms and the way I wanted it done, and they did it amazingly. So you get the stamps, you get the dies, and you get it at a price that I think everybody can afford it. When you buy them individually, just one set, or this one set, the price is $13.99, and that's for all the stamps and all the dies. So this set, the rose set right here, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stamps and it has a die that coordinates with all of them for $13.99. Now we will always have our bundles. So if we bundle, we're going to bundle the 4 together, and your price will be $40 for all 4, which means that they're now $10 a set. The background is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to show it to you. It not only has the background, it has the frame that goes with it. Again, $13.99 for a die. And if you buy the bundle, $9.99, $10. And I think that will allow many more crafters to get into the die and the stamp part of this business, because it's something that they can actually afford. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of the other dies or any of the other stamp lines that are on the market, but I wanted to bring you something that I could feel good about, that you could actually own and create with, and that going forward is cohesive and usable. Now, there also was a black and white image on Facebook, and I got yin and yang and so much going on. Well, we brought out our own paper as well. Now we have two packs of white paper. One is a heavyweight 80-pound, one is an extra heavy weight, which is 100-pound, and then we have an 80-pound black. To give you an idea of the pricing on the paper, the 80-pound 25 pack of white paper sells for $5.99. That is our everyday price. The 100-pound 25 pack is selling for $6.99. So those of you out there that buy paper, you will understand that this is a value. This is meant so that everybody can afford it. And then the black, because it costs more to manufacture black, this one is $7.99 again for black, and I think that you'll find that that's a really great price. And see the labels. Now I do have to give a shout out real quick. I wanna give a shout out to, hold on, see the label, see all the artwork? Okay, so Elaine, your sister Linda at Ellison helped with all of this artwork. Yay for her. I know she couldn't tell you a single thing, but I said I would give you a shout out, Elaine, so there it is. Your sister Linda was a huge help in making all of this possible. So when you see her, tell her, yay, you go, sis. Okay, so now I'm gonna tilt down. So we've got the 3 packs of paper. We will always have them. For those of you who shop here locally and come do the make and take, you were instrumental in deciding what paper we went with. We had companies sending us samples from everywhere, and during the make and take, I would experiment with the different papers, and there was a couple times where several of you said, what is this paper we're using? And I had to keep my mouth quiet because I couldn't tell you, because I didn't know if that was the paper line we were gonna go with, if it was the company we were gonna go with. But consistently you said, this is good paper, what is it? So that's what we went with, and it was the SMS peeps who really helped us define what paper line we were gonna go with. Now, Simply Defined is the brand name. It's by Scrapbooking Made Simple. I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull some of the dies out and show you how to use them. There's a thought process behind all of them. I wanted them to be very cohesive so that you didn't get anything twice, but you got something in every one where you could utilize it with one of the others in the set. And that's really important to me. Like the gate here. The gate has the trellis here, and then it comes with flowers that you can decorate. But what if you wanted different flowers? Well, then I have the flourish here, which also comes with flowers that you can then decorate your gate with, or your trellis there. And then the rose has other different flowers so that you can mix and match. You could take the small rose flowers from here and embellish your flourish here, or you could take the flowers from here and embellish the flourish. The idea is that it is cohesive so that you can use it again and again and again. And I'm gonna get started. So, welcome to Simply Defined by Scrapbooking Made Simple. All right, I'm gonna put these aside, And I am gonna pull out to start with the rose because yes, there is an actual YouTube in this. So here are all the dies you're going to get with the rose. Yeah, you get them all, including the shadow for the rose. All of that comes in one package, along with all of the stamps that come with the rose. So you're going to get a stamp that coordinates with every die, with the exception of the actual die cut rose. But I'm going to show you how that works too. So we're going to start with that. And I think what I'm going to do is start with stamping. Because the stamps, I had a very specific thought when I did the stamps. As opposed to necessarily using a single color ink, I really wanted you to have the availability to use multiple colors and change it up a little bit. Now, the stamps are very deeply etched and they've got the beautiful fine line. They're clear, but you are going to be so thrilled with how precise the etching is. It is gorgeous. And I have to tell you, I was very skeptical. I'm like, I don't know. You're going to have to really show me. And at Ellison, they did. They showed me. They said, let me show you what we can do with a clear stamp. And they are magnificent. So I'm going to take a piece of our 80-pound Simply Defined white paper. That sounds so weird, doesn't it? And I'm going to take a Memento marker. Now, Memento comes in the dewdrop size, the full size, the markers, and the reinkers. Memento is a dye-based ink, which means it absorbs beautifully in the paper, but it doesn't take very long to dry, and it is your everyday all-purpose ink. We generally sell the markers as your oops pin. So if you were gonna stamp something with a full-size marker and then you stamped it and you missed a little something, the Memento has this awesome bullet tip that you can go in and kind of color where you missed, as opposed to restamping all over again. We really like the Memento markers for an oops pin, but we also like them to color with. So I have got my rose stamp and I've put it right on my block. I'm going to set it down and I'm going to take the brush tip of my marker and I'm going to color it. Now, the Memento markers are very inexpensive, which is another reason why I really like them, because they are affordable for everybody. I would have a Memento marker for every color you have for your large pads, and then I would have, if you're going to be coloring, then gosh, it's a matter of what ones do you like the best. Now, I'm just doing one color on my rose, and I can see where I'm coloring, which is really nice. I'm just going to lay that color down. And then I'm going to do something called huffing. And I'm going to bring this up. And I'm just going to huff on it. What that does is it reactivates the ink. It keeps it moist so that you can stamp with it so it didn't dry out. That's it. At Crop, you can hear people doing that all the time. And then I'm gonna stamp. Now I've got my stamp mat, I've got my gush pad, and this is just a very small portion of it. This is like 1/8 of the size of the gush pad. It comes really big. It's, I think, 11 by 14. And it gives your stamp something to sink into and make really great contact with your paper. And there's my image. So pretty, isn't it? I really shouldn't say I love it, but I love it. Then I'm gonna just wipe my stamp down just a little bit, because then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stamp it off. I'm gonna use a couple colors to stamp with. So now I've got my first one there, but now I'm going to take a Memento marker that's in lighter color. It's a lighter color purple. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color up my entire stamp. Now, Memento markers are not refillable, but I want to say they're like $2.50 a marker, somewhere around that price. So it's okay that they don't refill. They do go a very long way. So I've inked up with my light color. Then I'm going to come back with a little bit of my darker color, and I'm just going to hit it just where I think I want some of that darker color. And then I'm going to take my light color of my leaves, and I'm going to hit the whole thing with the side. You see, I'm using the side of my brush tip. I'm not using the point to color, I'm using the side to color. And that keeps your point really nice for when you do need to use that point for something. So I'm gonna go in there and add a little color. And then I'm gonna come back with a darker shade of green. And again, I'm using my side, not the tip. And I'm just putting some of that darker green where I want it. Then I'm gonna raise it up. I'm gonna huff and I'm gonna stamp. And it's going to give me a completely different look. So now I've got a lighter version that has highlights and mid-tones in there with just using simple markers. Easy to do. But now that you've stamped, what do you want to do with it? Well, we want to die cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the frame that coordinates with that stamp. I'm going to move over my Big Shot machine because the Big Shot machine is the machine of choice here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. But yes, these dies will work with your Cuttlebug, your Spellbinder, your Embossability, your Sidekick. Yes, you can use the dies with almost every die machine manufactured currently. I'm using my precision plate. I've got my precision plate right here, and I have it on top of my magnetic platform. You could absolutely have it on top of your multi-purpose platform. Just keep that multi-purpose platform completely closed. And there has been a question of, when you put it on top of your magnetic platform, will it still be magnetized? Well, no, it doesn't. So the magnet will hold the precision plate in place, but it will not hold your paper or your die. The magnets just are not thick enough to go through. Then I am going to line it up. And this is where your magnetic platform might come in handy, but I'm using precision today because I want to show you the background, and I'm going to send it on through. One roll, no problem, that's plenty. So as you can see, I've got my magnetic platform, I've got my precision base plate, I have got my paper, my die, and then my do not cut plate right there on top. That's the sandwich you're going to use if you're using your magnetic platform. You always cut into the metal side of your precision base plate. You never want to cut on top of the directions. If you see the directions and you're cutting on top of that, no, stop. Oh, it really holds onto that magnetic platform. Stop, turn it over. You want to see the metal side. So let's pop it on out. And there we go. But wait, we can do more. Let's take the other one real quick and let's go ahead and put the die right on top of the stamp. So the detailed die, the die that's going to give you all the little cutouts and the pretty little pieces. Let's just put that right on top of the stamp. Move my Big Shot over and line it up. And then send it through. Poke it out. Actually, I think I'm going to grab my new little tool from Sizzix. They've got the new little tool that will help get everything out. Difference is they included a little foamy mat that you put this on, and you just put your die with your die cut in it on the foamy mat, and then you can roll it through, and all the little pieces stay behind. Kind of nice, huh? And there we go. Love this. Love this because this you just pull out and replace. Love that. It does not have a lot of bells and whistles, but it doesn't need a lot of bells and whistles. It's got what you need, and now I've got the definition on my die from the stamp. Really easy to do. I tried to build the dies and the stamps so that you're going to get the most value for your money. If you're buying the bundle, for your $10 per set, if you're buying them individually, for your $13.99. And I really think that with the combination of the dies and the stamps for that price, I am hoping that most of you find it affordable, that all of a sudden it is something that you can do, that you can start die cutting and stamping and making beautiful projects. I want to show you one of the storyboards that we've put together. Let's see, let me tilt on up a little bit. So here's the storyboard for the Simply Defined Vintage Garden, and this is the roses. So here's the background. Here is the stamp on the background. Here's the cutout. Here's the stamp and the cutout. Here's the cutout and the background. Here's the background, the stamp, and the cutout. And then all the words and the added little embellishments, accoutrements that you can use with all the other sets. You get all of that in one pack, in that one set. And of course, you can just use the stamp alone. You could use the thank you without die cutting it. You could use the hello without die cutting it. Then you could use just the stamps all by themselves. So this is what you're going to find in the Vintage Garden, the Garden Rose. So I think that's a lot. Then we have the Flourish. And again, the Flourish has so much. It has the background. It has the actual flourish. There's the flourish on the background. Here's the flourish stamped on the background. Here's the flourish. Well, now we could have stamped as well, stamped on top of that, the flourish on the background. Oh, we got two of the, oh no, that's the negative. Oh, she used the negative on that one. Oh my gosh. There's just the flourish all by itself. And then you get the corners and all the little pieces to go with it. All of that for $13.99 if you're buying it all by itself, or $10 if you're buying it in the bundle. I think that's a great value. I hope you agree. I really do. I hope you agree. The flourish is just gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. Just stamped. It's magnificent. Then we have the background, and I'm going to use the background for a few minutes because I really want you to see just how intricate it is. Now, we didn't just do a background. We did a background with a shadow, which means this cuts one piece, this cuts another, and if you put them together, well, then this will cut a frame of this shape right here. Right now, I'm going to use just the main die, and I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine. And I'm going to use my precision base plate, and really for this die, for how intricate it is, you are going to want to use your precision base plate. But holy smokes, $10, and you still get the background. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it down on my precision base plate, put my do not plate cut over the top of it, and send it through. Now you're going to hear some creaking and some cracking and a bunch of noise. It's okay. I'm going to send it on through, and then I'm going to roll it back just to be sure. Now, on your intricate dies, if you're still having an issue, all you need to do is turn and rotate. So just make a 90-degree turn and then send it back through again. This one's not going to need it, but I'm going to do it just because. And what that is doing is that's letting the rollers in your machine hit different parts of the die. If you roll it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and don't move the die, then the rollers are hitting those same spots over and over again. But when you turn it, you give the rollers that are in your machine the opportunity to hit different spaces and make sure that cut goes through. Now with the precision base plate, I find that you don't need to do that very frequently at all. And I'm gonna bring over my pad from Sizzix. I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna get some of these pieces out. And now you're not making confetti everywhere. And there we go. Holy smokes artichokes. So it's kept some of them on there, and really I could just kind of hit this and they're all gonna fall out. But this is the background. Now you don't necessarily need to see me do all of that. I've got one right here ready to go. And that's what it looks like. There it is in white. Here it is with the actual background piece, the frame that goes around it. That's a $10 die. Wahoo! I'm so proud of that. I am so fortunate that the SMS girls and my husband, they all see that I have this vision of what I want, and they buy into it and they go with me and they make it happen. Wait till you see the samples that the SMS girls have done. The samples are absolutely amazing. And I think the die is just absolutely beautiful and can be used for so many different things. So that is the background die. And again, I could take the frame and do the frame as well. And here's the negative. Look at the negative from that die. That makes a cute frame all by itself. Oh my gosh, put a picture and it's matting for your scrapbook page. It makes the most darling frame, and that's the leftovers from this. So again, we try to give you lots of value for your money, and I'm hoping you agree that we did. So there's the background. I'm gonna pull over the background really quick on the storyboard, just so you can see it. So here's the vintage garden background. There's the cut when you just use the frame. And again, you can certainly mat a picture behind there. Here's the cut when you use the die. That's the leftover piece that I just showed you. Here's the background cut by itself. Here's the die cut by itself. And there is the die and the background all put together for you for $10. Wahoo. I love them. They're beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the garden trellis, because this one I need to explain to you, the garden, the gate. I need to explain this one to you a little bit. And it is, let's see. It's this one right here, where you get the stamps, you get the beautiful vine, you get the flowers. That's what it looks like when it's done. Now next time for next month, and yes, there's a release every month. There's 6 new sets. The first one we just did 4 just to get our feet wet, but every month there will be 6 new sets for you to choose from, and we will always do it as a bundle with the $9.99, a $10 retail if you buy the bundle, or $13.99 if you buy them individually. But yes, we have already designed all the way through November. So I know what's coming all the way through November already. So let me work with this one, because I need you to see what you have to do to cut it. Here it is. Let's move that one down. Here it is on our magnetic sheet. And you see you only get one of the doors to the gate. You only get the one. But you see you get the stamps for both. I need to show you how to cut this twice so that you know how to put them together. Very simple. Very simple. Now I'm going to pull that here, and I'm going to grab a piece of paper. And I think I'm going to take this off, and I am going to stamp. I'll stamp with it. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and bring my machine back over. And I think I'm going to mark this A and B, just so you can see. So I've got one side of my paper marked A, one side of my paper marked B. Now, to keep these cost effective, I couldn't have two. I couldn't have a right and a left. I had to just do one side, and I'm going to show you how to cut the other side. So I've got my gate there and my background on my magnetic platform or my multi-purpose platform with everything completely closed. If I was on the multi-purpose platform, no tabs open. I've got my precision base plate. I've got my paper, my dies face down, and I'm going to send it on through. Little bit of creaks and cracks, it's okay, I promise. People will actually stop in the middle of their die cutting and call us and say, should I continue? Yes, you're gonna be just fine. And here it is, pops out just as easy as pie, and you're gonna work all your little pieces out. But I wanna show you how to go ahead and cut the second one, because right now, what I've got is one side. I've only got the one side. How am I going to get the other side? I'm going to turn to my side B. See how I cut on side A? Now I'm going to turn to my side B, and I'm going to lay them down again. And I'm going to put it onto my machine. Line it up. So if you were using pattern paper, double-sided paper, and this side had stripes. This was a striped side of paper, and this side was polka dot side of paper. You would cut the gate once out of the striped side and once out of the polka dotty side. So let me line that up, send it through. A little bit of noise, not a problem. Let's go ahead and roll it on back, and that way it ends up, I don't have to pull it over, there we go. Oh! It fell right out. I'm like, where did it go? And start popping all my little bits and pieces out, and I could use my little Sizzix guide. I should have left it in the die, but I could use my little Sizzix guide to get all of these things out. Just put it right on there if it was still in my die, and leave it in there and kind of roll. And let all of those little bits and pieces stay right there. The dies are a little more intricate, but that's what I wanted. A little more sophisticated. That wasn't so bad. All right, so now all I have to do is turn one of them over to line up. And I've now made my complete gate. So you just have to flip your paper over and cut again, and it will make your complete gate. So I've stamped on these, on the backgrounds, to make my gate. I just cut the background piece out, cut it twice, and stamped right on it to make my gate. But if I wanted to, I could stamp on the gate itself to add the detail. Right now, this is what I've got. Let's go ahead and pull over my stamp. And you do get the stamp for both sides of the gate. Pull over my stamp. And again, depending on what I want. Now I could just do this all black. I could do this in embossing powder and stamp it on there and do a detailed embossing powder on there. I could color this multiple colors. It's really a matter of what it is you want. Let's go ahead and do a couple colors. So I'm using my Memento markers again and using the side of my pen. I'm coloring the stamp up. And then let's go in and do a little bit of purple, darker purple on some of them. And then I'm actually going to go in and add a little bit of green. You could never do this if you were using a stamp pad, because you wouldn't be able to get in there and get that detail. So a little bit of green. And let's see what we get. I'm gonna put my die there, my die cut, my paper. I'm gonna take my stamp and I'm going to line it on up. And then I'm gonna give it a press. I'm gonna let that paper sink down into the gush pad, let my stamp make a really good impression, and pull up. And I've now put my detail on my gate. Easy to do. And you can mix and match your colors and do so much. Let's just do the detail right onto the gate. So let's take my green again. And my purple. And then my dark purple. Turn it over, give a huff, and line it up, and stamp away. And I probably have a very vintagey look with this one. Easy to do. So you can use markers with our stamps. You can there's so much to be done. I want to show you one more thing, and this time I think I am going to use the flourish. So I'm going to pull these out of the way, and I'm going to bring over the impression or the transfer pad, because you can use the dies for the transfer pad as well. Now, everybody who ordered one in January, February, and half of March has already received their transfer pads. They are back in stock, and we are shipping out as quickly as we can, so we do have them available to order. I am going to use the flourish die. I'm going to use the flourish die. And for this, I'm going to take off my precision platform. I'm going to put on my transfer platform, and I'm going to put my paper down first. Just like that, paper down first. Then I'm going to put a piece of the transfer material, which comes in gold, silver, black, white, and an assorted pack. So I'm going to do here. And then I'm going to put it down with the glossy side up. And I am going to make a beautiful impression with my flourish. So let's say I wanted it right there. I'm going to put my clear plate or my do not cut plate right over the top. And I am going to send it through my Big Shot machine. Ready? Send it right on through. Now it doesn't feel like it's done much. I know. It's like, really? Did it do anything? Yes, it did. I promise. pull that up. And you can see the impression that it has left. You can see that it actually did impress into that color. But then I pull it back and it's like magic. Is that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Which then, if you wanted to, we could then take, I went a little bit too close to the edge, but we could then take the background, line it up, put it on our precision plate, and cut that out. There's just so much that can be done, and they all are meant to work together. I was a little too close to the edge, but that's okay, we'll cut it anyway. And pull it out. So if you have the transfer kits, remember all of your wafer dies can be used. Ready to go. So we've done stamping, we've used the transfer kit. I have so many samples to show you. Here's the gate using just patterned paper. Somewhere, oh, here's the other side. Using patterned paper for the gate. And then you can embellish it using the roses or the flowers that come with all the different sets. I have got so many samples to show you. I have to tilt up for just a minute and hopefully you are still with me because this is where I have to give thank yous to the SMS girls. They made all the samples. They took it and they embraced it and they loved it and they put their heart and soul into these samples, and they're beautiful and they tell a story of each girl, and no two are alike. All the SMS girls who worked on this, they all have such distinct and different personalities that I think there's something in these samples that everybody is going to respond to and relate to. God bless them because they are what keep me going. They motivate me and inspire me every single day, as does Mr. SMS. Michael he just lets me dream as big as I can possibly dream and then says, okay, go do it. Sometimes I don't believe, or sometimes I don't think he believes I'm really gonna do it, but when you put your mind to it, then you just go ahead. And I'm hopeful that my boys will see this, and they'll see what can be done when you work hard and you dream and you follow your dreams, that it is possible. It is, that it's not just about the biggest income or the biggest job title, and those are great things, and I've had those great things, but it's about finding what's inside of you that makes you happy and that fulfills the need inside of you. And I hope that my boys see that it can be done. It can be done. So I'm going to start showing samples now. And again, all the SMS girls made these, so I hope you will stay. I hope you're still with me. I hope you will watch them and see what they created, because they really did put their heart and soul. Yvette and Sharon and Elena and Claire and Belinda, they took it and they ran with it in ways that I would have never thought. Okay, are you ready for samples? Down we go. I'm afraid to see how long this YouTube's gonna be. All right, so the first one I wanna show you is from Claire. I want to see if I can get it all in there. It's done on a chipboard backing that we sell. The easel is a Tim Holtz die that makes an easel, and this is a tribute to her mom. And she used the background, the Simply Defined background. She used the Simply Defined roses, and she made an absolutely beautiful tribute to her mom, who passed away a few years ago. That's her mom, and that's Claire at 3. Her mom was a hottie. Woohoo, ka-choo! Claire also made the box. She used the background, she used the roses, she used the corners from the Flourish set, and there's cards inside the box. So So here she just stamped. With the stamps, you don't necessarily have to die cut, but she made the box. And again, this is using our chalkboard paint from Viva Decor to do the box. Here she used the vine, and she put different flowers on it because all the sets have different flowers that you can use to utilize. And she 3D'd it up. She popped it up so you have dimension. So she cut it twice and then popped up the second one for dimension. And this is all by Claire. Here she took the roses and cut 3, but she used the one main rose, but then cut these off the stem and lined them up to make a beautiful, beautiful card. And she embossed them. She stamped on white paper with black and then threw clear embossing powder over the top. And then our background. The background die is just beautiful. This is all Claire. Then we have Sharon, who put together a lovely card in the very soft pinks using the vines that come with the gate. She used the flowers, she used the stamp, corners from the flourish set. It's all meant to work together. That's the goal, that's the idea, that when you have them, the sum of them is so much more than any single one set. Next we have Elena. And Elena she just does amazing things. They all do amazing things. Here you open it, and she used, I don't know if I'm gonna get it open. Well, maybe we slide it off. She used the decoupage that we've been selling from Do Crafts. Is that awesome? She used the gate here. Is that absolutely amazing? So she just took a piece of paper and accordion folded it and then layered the decoupage. Who wouldn't want to get that? But there are the gates, the simply defined gates. Elena did an amazing job. Then Elena decided she needed that gate a little bit bigger than what it was because it really is only this size right here. She cut it again and cut it in half and started to elongate, make the gate wider. She also stamped on acetate with the vine that goes there, that runs up the gate. Absolutely beautiful. These are all Elena. Here we go. She used the background and she used the transfer with the ink sheets, and she transferred the background onto a piece of cardstock, and she just used the frame. She just used the frame of the die and then used the die to transfer the ink sheets that I just showed you. So again, that's Elena. Oh, this one's Claire. Here we have a little SMS trinket box using the roses. And Claire also put together, I don't know what bottle this is, but apparently this is, there was some alcohol in here at one time, but she thought the bottle was so pretty that she took our chalkboard paint from Viva Decor, she painted the bottle and then decorated it using the flourishes and the flowers, and just beautiful at the top, just absolutely gorgeous in all the different colors. So that's also Claire. Then we have some from Yvette. Here we go from Yvette, where she used the roses, she popped them up, and here again she 3D'd the rose as well. She cut the background and stamped on it, but then she cut the top piece again and stamped on it and popped it right on up. And this one is also Yvette. Here she has used Flower Soft with the gate and the vine and the flowers to go with it. And then it opens with a little sentiment inside. How beautiful is that? So Yvette put this together. And here Yvette did the background. Our background, where she inked it with Distress ink, threw embossing powder over the top of it and embossed it just to give it a nice glossy finish. And that's all she did. The rest of it is just matting and some flowers. Absolutely beautiful. Then we get into our mixed media people. And let me pull up from Belinda. Belinda made the tray. Again, used the roses. She used the chalkboard paint So you can write welcome on it or whatever you want. She put together the vines and the roses and made a beautiful tray. Oh, the phone's ringing. Then we have Belinda again, and she made a picture frame using the roses and the background all out of metallic. She painted the frame and then she used the creative medium gold with a stencil. We have a YouTube on that. So cute. Our mixed media girls are just absolutely awesome. And this one's also from Belinda. Now, I need to tell you, these roses here, we have a piece of paper from Kaiser Craft. This is the flourish, but these roses are from a paper from Kaiser Craft, and my dies lined up perfectly with their roses, and they cut them out. Oh my gosh. So all the vines, all the roses, the background, again from Belinda, who's really into mixed media and altered art and does an amazing job. And then from Elena, I guess these are now becoming a rage, these little tiny pocket cards. Super cute. She put them all together. There's the background. She used the die to do the ink, the transfer sheet. All of our dies and stamps incorporated on here. Really darling. And then we've got layouts. 2 layouts, both done by Elena. Here's the first one. Using the background and the flourishes. All in metallic. She's into metallics right now. She's all about the gold, silver, bronze, and copper. And then her second layout. They're just beautiful. So, what do we have for you? Oh my goodness gracious. We have the new Simply Defined extra heavyweight 100-pound cardstock, $6.99. We have the Simply Defined 80-pound blacks cardstock. Again, both of these packs, all the packs are 25 sheets for $7.99. And we have our 80-pound pack, 25 sheets of the heavyweight cardstock, $5.99. So $5.99, $6.99, and $7.99. Great paper, trust me. The SMS staff and our customers have been using it without knowing they were using it. What else do we have for you? Well, we have all of the dies that I showed you today with all of the stamps. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, and the background. Yes, you can only find them at Scrapbooking Made Simple. Yes, they're under the Simply Defined brand by Scrapbooking Made Simple. Yes, they were manufactured for us by Sizzix, so you know the quality is there. You know the product is awesome when it's got the Sizzix name on it. And yes, you get the stamp and the dies for one price. $13.99 if you buy them open stock, or $10 if you buy the whole set together. We will have a new collection of 6 every month, and we've designed all the way through November. Let me show you really quickly. Here's the trellis, or the gate with the trellis. Here's the gate. Here's the gate stamped. Then you've got it here. We reversed it. You can reverse it if you would like. If you want the reverse look as opposed to it coming up, you want it down, you just switch them. All the pieces come in the one set. Okay, I have talked and talked and talked. And I hope you felt that the announcement was worth the wait. And I hope you're as excited as I am. And I hope that you understand where my heart is. It's about keeping this industry strong and about keeping you out there creative and giving you an outlet to share. And the best way to do that is to make it affordable for everybody. We sell every die out there. We sell all the manufacturers, and they do an awesome job. But there was a little part that was missing, and I hope that Simply Defined will help fill that little piece where it's at a price point that everybody can reach. All right, it's me, Stacy. Where are you going to find all of these great things? You're gonna find them at at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. That's where you're gonna find all of our new product. And we're not done. There's still one more big announcement in July, and I can't wait to take this and show my mom and dad. Whether they remember or not, I know in that moment they're gonna be proud. All right, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.